Good morning, good day, good afternoon. Welcome, truth seekers. Welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, hello. I wanted to try a little different backdrop because I'm home. I was traveling in beautiful Canada and I had the most amazing trip, but it is so good to come back to all of this, and it really does feel like we're entering into spring. We're already here, actually, and so I'm just kind of giving this a whirl. We are doing lesson 88. We are still in the review portion of Course in Miracles textbook. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm gonna do some finagling on the background noise if I can figure out the video editing, but whatever. It is about the lesson. Sorry, we're on lesson 87. I keep saying 88. It's like I'm jumping timelines here. And today's ideas for review are, I will, there be light, to start. The second one is, there is no will but God's. So first review, I will, there be light. And this is really about having the will, the conviction to know who you are, where you came from, and where you are going. I will use the power of my will today. This is pretty powerful, actually. I almost wanted to say it with my eyes closed, but I can't read with my eyes closed, damn it. One day, I'm working on it. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. Amen. These forms of this idea would be helpful for specific applications. This cannot hide the light I will to see. You stand with me in light, and you name the person. So again, this part of the more practical application is when you find yourself holding on to a grievance, or somebody triggers you, or some life crap decides to like come up and, ear its not so pretty face. This is what you can kind of use as like your, force field against whatever is coming up to trigger you. This cannot hide the light I will to see. You stand with me in light and name the person. In the light, this will look different, and things do look different. I don't know if there's somebody watching that has gone through some scary stuff that it was almost so scary that it felt kind of like dark and demonic in a sense. Like you just, like something, it felt so unsettling that you felt that there was kind of an energy so separate from you, but felt very real and very present. And I'm not talking about ghosts and things like that. I'm just talking about like when you are dealing with something, maybe even a person, and it's something that really kind of threw you off because you just didn't know that is what you were going to be faced with. And it almost enters into like a creepy, scary realm, because the energy feels so foreign and new, but you knew it's like something you had to like deal with. Well, anyways, once I chose to remove the idea of the darkness and the demonic entity, or whatever my imagination was feeding into my fear, it was like literally shining a light on it and seeing what felt like demonic energy just kind of like shrink into this like tiny little nothingness of energy. weak and frail, and then turning into like a child or like a baby, really innocent. And I realized the power of my mind can really change something, can create something that feels scary into something really dark and ugly, then turn it right back into nothingness, more neutral, and then into light. I mean, the mind has that kind of power, and this is why we are trying to wash the mind to really integrate these ideas, this knowing, this awareness, so that when things do come up, and they will come up, because that's what we're here for, is to live things out, let life it out for us, and still remember who we are. And it's a beautiful thing when you can see life lifing, and you can apply these ideas and say, oh, I got this in the light. This looks different. And as soon as I did remember the light, whew, whatever was going on, just the fear and the big scariness of it, it just withered away. It just dissipated. And going from the dark to the light is also almost like it's like a rush. It's like a drug hit. It's like an adrenaline hit, a dopamine hit. It's incredible. That transition from dark to light is in and of itself a beautiful transition. It's all part of it, though. It's all part of this dance, that we're doing on this earth, in this incarnation. Okay, this cannot hide the light I will see. You stand with me in light. Name the person, whoever it is, that might be, making you go a little sideways. In the light, this will look different. The second review idea for today's lesson: there is no will but God's. I love that. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. Boy, I know that fear. I have felt that fear, and again, that fear felt so scary. I almost created a darker energy that didn't need to emerge. But I created that. But if I created that, I can also get rid of it immediately. I try to attack only when I am afraid, and only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Yeah, there was a time in my life that I was so scared that I didn't even feel physically safe. It was so weird. I had never entered into that realm. And it wasn't when I was a child, it was when I was a grown-ass adult and faced with something I never even knew existed. You hear about it, you see it on television, hear it on the news or whatever, but you hear through stories. But and being on the other side of it, I realized I had to go through that. I had to go through that to really understand what true fear was. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm never going to go through that again. I will catch it before it ramps up. I know how to recognize it and say, oh, I'm going to cut you off at the pass. I'm not going to let it gain any sort of momentum or traction. No way. No way. But there was a time where even like I just felt physically unsafe, and that was a weird experience for me. But I'm glad I went through it, because this really makes sense. Because I went from going from there to here and then reading it again. I have read this lesson like 10 times. No, I'm sorry. That's a lie. I've been doing the workbook lessons now consistently probably for 4 years. Yeah, 4 or 5 years. And it's so weird. These lessons just feel brand new to me still. And now that I'm sharing these lessons, they take on a whole other meaning as well. So it's incredible. It's incredible. It's like I've never read this lesson before. Today, I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. Boy, stick that on a post-it on your forehead, facing this way, so you can constantly read it and get reminded. I am safe because there is no will but God's. These are some useful forms of this idea for specific applications. Let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. It is God's will. You are His son. Name the person and mine as well. Let me repeat that. It is God's will. You are His son. Name the person and mine as well. This part of God's will for me, however I may see it. This is part of God's will for me, however I may see it. Today, I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. You are safe because there is no will but God's, no matter what. I am safe because there is no will but God's. I will there be light. Lesson 87, my friends. You got this. I will there be light. I am safe because there is no other will but God's. God's will is for your eternal safety. Believe it, feel it, see it, witness it. And watch the miracles. Watch the miracles. And there is no hierarchy of miracles. None. Trust. God's will is your eternal safety. Heard that? Straight from Jesus. I will there be light for you. Many blessings. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.